Okay, so what's up guys, it's Matters, and we're going to be talking about a couple of different things that Black Ops 4 Zombies cannot do, or else it will suck. It will, be a boring game, it will be repetitive, and it just won't revive the zombies community. So, that being said, if you can leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. If we can go for 35 likes, that'd be pretty cool, and subscribe for more Black Ops 4 Zombies videos. And yeah, let's get started. So, I'm going to go through a couple of different topics here, different things that Black Ops 4 Zombies cannot do or else it will suck. A large part of this video, and we're going to start off with that, will be a huge complaint of Black Ops 3 as well, and maybe even the past with other games, all other Call of Duty games, the weapons. The weapons have always been sort of interesting, and I feel like with Black Ops 3, the Black Ops 3 weapons just weren't memorable. They weren't cool, they weren't fun to use, and I think that's the general vibe that everyone had of the Black Ops 3 weapons. The Black Ops 2 weapons, a lot more memorable. Black Ops 1 weapons, even more memorable, and then you go back and back, and maybe it's just nostalgia, but the Black Ops 3 weapons were just not fun. They were all boring and interesting, and they all seemed like too similar. They didn't have anything cool about them specifically. They had no individuality. They just had nothing about themselves that you just wanted to use them. And with these weapons, it just made it so you only had this normal setup, especially if you're going for a high round. You have the Wonder Weapon, you have a Haymaker Brecci, you have, a Vesper or VMP with your Deadwire, your Pack-Punch upgrade, and that's really it. And, you can use weapons like the Kuda, and honestly, you can use all of these other different wall weapons with a Pack-Punch upgrade, and it all even seemed the same at that point too. So you can even say that these weapons, not only they were all boring to use, once you got the Pack-Punch upgrade, it really didn't matter what you were using because you had that same Pack-Punch upgrade, and every weapon just almost had the same damage output and it had the same sort of it just felt the same. Everything felt the same no matter what gun you were using. If you shot a couple times and you got that blast furnace, that was it. Now, this is not a video where I'm complaining because obviously the Pack-Punch upgrades were really cool and they were really just fun to use, and they definitely added a new element to the game, and it made it so you're not just wasting ammo and you're just, going through all these rounds and rounds and you have to buy ammo, you have to hit the box. These Pack-Punch upgrades definitely helped with getting through these trains and killing all these zombies a lot faster than usual, getting through these rounds. Now, it was fun and all, but they can't do the same thing for Black Ops 4. They can't continue the same thing where it's just like every weapon just seemed the same. It didn't really matter what you were using. It was useless, and you never really sought out this one weapon. Now, they have these weapons. You have the PPSH and, like the Galil. They added a bunch of the DLC weapons, so it's a novelty. It's cool. You like to use it, but you're not really going to go for a high round. You're not going to go, if you're going for a solid zombies game, you're just not going to use those weapons, at least for the long run. You're going to go for your normal strat, and your normal strat really doesn't consist of anything else besides and not only just the shotguns and like the different little submachine guns, whatever. It's really just regarding like Deadwire, and I guess earlier on it used to be Blast Furnace, then it moved to Deadwire as like the dominant training strategy. That's really it. It became less about the weapons and more about the Pack-Punch upgrade because, like I said, the Pack-Punch upgrade really took over any usage the weapon had. Now, how can they change that in Black Ops 4? I'm not saying I don't want them to bring it back to the good old days where, you had to go through all these rounds of bullets and you ran out of ammo. Like, that's not really the best and, most optimal situation, but make it so. Now, this is obviously a suggestion and what they can do, for Black Ops 4 Zombies not to have the same repetitive, just, nature where you don't have just individuality within the weapons, and the weapons just don't seem as cool and they don't seem as interesting to use. What they can do is obviously have new Pack-Punch upgrades, and then have these specific Pack-Punch upgrades for different class sets and weapon classes. Like, there's a specific Pack-Punch upgrade for snipers, and there's a specific one for SMGs, assault rifles, LMGs, pistols, and then, maybe even go further where there's specific Pack-Punch upgrades for specific weapons. So each weapon has a different style of how it kills once you Pack-Punch it over and over and over again. each weapon could have some different usage, some different look, some different feel, and it doesn't need to be that crazy different or that important. You know, maybe just slightly different camos as well for each weapon, instead of sort of like the same camo for every weapon, or, you know, like the same 4 camos. Like the Dryzen camos, the pack-punch camos for Dryzen were sick. But, you know, maybe make it so if you get that weapon, you're getting that specific unique camo. That would be something very interesting, and obviously it would make it so people want to go for these different weapons for different usages, for different games, for different, you know, training strategies, and, you know, whatever. If they want to do a certain Easter egg, they want to do a certain thing, they want to use this pack-punch weapon, they have to use a cool sniper or a different weapon that they wouldn't normally use. I think that'd be a pretty sick idea. Now, obviously, that's just with pack-punch upgrades. I think in general, you know, the Black Ops 4 weapons, they just need to seem fun, and that's just a matter of them picking the right weapons, picking the right sounds for how the weapons, you know, shoot and all that cool stuff. So that's like the base of, you know, all of that there, and then obviously you move on to the pack-punch upgrades, and then, you know, being specific with them. And I just think that'd be a fairly solid idea. It would change it up. It would make each weapon sort of its own, and you would actually want to seek out certain weapons for certain abilities instead of just going to a map. Like you go into Ragnarok, you go in these maps, you pick a weapon, and you can get Deadwire, and you can do fairly well with it. Or make it so you're not using the same weapons over and over again. You're not picking up the Haymaker, and you're not just picking up the Stormbow, and those are your 2 weapons for the game, and that's it. Make it so, you know, there's sort of an incentive to use these other weapons, and it's just not the same. There's just different things, different incentives, different pack-punch upgrades, different types of weapons with different abilities. I don't know. I feel like that would be a very good way to actually get people to, you know, use all of the weapons and make it a more just, you know, versatile game with more variety. That's that. Now, with perks, that's the second part. Perks, a very large part of the game. I think it's a very simple request, just to make it so you don't have the same perks all the time. Can we not have the same perks every single DLC? And I think with Black Ops 3, you know, we were expecting and hoping every time a DLC released, we were like, guys, let's see if there's a new perk. Let's get the Perkaholic, and then it was the same 9 perks over and over again. So I know Treyarch, you know, they have the Gobblegums. They want people to use the Gobblegums. You know, they want people to use the abilities from those Gobblegums. They want people to buy the Gobblegums. That's their new sort of form or version of a perk system. And they kept the perks the way they are and not even change it. So personally, I'm not even asking, and I'm not even like, I guess I'm hoping. I want new perks, but even if they don't add new perks, that's fine. At least make it, I talked about this in a different video, and they did it in Black Ops 2, make it so you have map-specific perks, or you have certain perks for certain maps where, obviously, like I said, Buried, you don't need stamina up. You know, you have Vulture because you can see through the walls, and you have the cool gas, and you can get the little ammo drops and point drops and stuff. And it's just different perks. Like there was no Mule Kick on Mob Dead, and even though there was no reason for that, they probably could have had Mule Kick on Mob Dead. It probably would have been cool, but why give the same perks for every DLC map? Why make it the same sort of functionality, the same gameplay every single map? Change it up, man. Take a different perk out, add a perk in, make it so when you play a map, you're not playing the same way every time, you're not playing with the same perk setup every time, and obviously add some variety. Make it so it's just a different fun experience, and that adds replayability value, that adds just, you know, I guess it decreases the repetitiveness of the game. Like if you're going to every DLC map, and you're going and you're getting the same perks on every DLC map, you're getting the same weapons on every DLC map, you're getting the same thing across all these, like the maps are different, but your gameplay and your actual setup and your HUD all looks the same. I just don't like that. I think that was a big fault with Black Ops 3. Like, I know what they were doing, and again, Black Ops 3 was a very solid game, and they did a lot of things right, but I think with Black Ops 3, we forget that it definitely was somewhat repetitive in that aspect. The maps were cool, they added different things, it was fun, but if they continue that within Black Ops 4, where they have 4 cool, different, unique DLC maps, that's obviously sick, but with the same perks and the same loadout, the same weapons, you know, it's just not going to be the same, and it's going to get boring. It's just going to get repetitive and boring, and that's obviously going to lead to the game not really being as fun as we want it to be. Like, we need these games to, you know, evolve and go to the next level and just get something done and do something new. And it's not gonna happen if, you know, they don't change things up. Now, same thing again, Gobblegums. The Gobblegum system is a good system, and you know, I have movement system down here too, and I don't know what the movement system is going to be for Black Ops 4, or you know, what Gobblegums they're going to do, if they're going to replace it with a different sort of candy, who the hell knows, or a different sort of ability, a different way for us to get different abilities and perkaholics and whatever. That's cool. Make it a different way, as long as it's not the same thing over and over again. As long as we're not doing the same thing, it's fine. Just change it up, evolve, make it different. I think a huge problem is that we want Treyarch to not stray from what is good and what we know is good. But if they make Black Ops 3.5, it's gonna seem really cool, and we're gonna be very hyped. But it's just not going to play out well when the game actually releases, because it's just going to be the same thing. And you want that Treyarch feel. You want it to feel like Black Ops 3. You want the good Black Ops 3 days back again. But if they don't change things up and it's not different, and you sort of have the same aspects, you sort of have the same idea of what the movement system was, and the Gobblegum system was, and the perks, and the weapons, and this and that, it's just not going to go over well. So those are really the main points as to, you know, what they just can't continue to do. And you know, Black Ops 4 Zombies, I'm not gonna say it's gonna suck. I guess that is a very, I mean, I think it, I don't want it to be Black Ops 3.5. That's pretty much what I say. I'm not gonna say that it would suck if it's Black Ops 3.5, but really, I'd get the idea that like, wow, like everything's the same. I feel like I'm playing Black Ops 3. I'm gonna get very bored. I'm not gonna play the game, and that's that. And that would suck. I guess that situation would suck. The game wouldn't suck because it'd be what we know and love, but it wouldn't be different. It wouldn't have done anything new. Not that, and honestly, I think Black Ops 4 and Treyarch, they're all doing something new. I think they're planning on changing stuff. I think they're planning on doing all this new cool stuff that we don't know about. I'm just making a video and just making sure that let's call out what was wrong with Black Ops 3 and just what we just don't want to see in the future. I think a lot of people agree with me with this stuff. I think this is, you know, a fairly common argument and a fairly common criticism of Black Ops 3. Just hopefully, you know, I don't come off as a hater, because obviously I'm not, and you know, I don't think Black Ops 4 is going to do any of this stuff. And again, Black Ops 3, some of the stuff here that we talked about, it's very cool and it was fun, and it was fun in Black Ops 3, but there were some criticisms, and that just can't happen in Black Ops 4. That's that. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Who you guys did enjoy. If you're watching at the end of this video, comment below BO4. And so I can see the accounts that are watching the whole video. It's greatly appreciated, and that's really it. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.